Hi everyone, welcome to Fat to Thin Senior RNY. I'm Raven. I was 76 years old when I had gastric bypass surgery on December 16, 2019. Medicaid approved the surgery. 2 weeks ago I talked about grieving the loss of your favorite food friend after RNY. In this vlog I'll be talking about the time before the RNY. I believe that I think I have identified where in time some of my comfort foods come from. If you're curious, please continue to watch and join me on this journey. I have to apologize. I'm sorry I missed last week's video. I had the worst migraine of the year. The pre-drome lasted about 4 days. I couldn't get rid of it. I usually can get rid of it, cut it short to 1 day, you know, that kind of get rid of it during the pre-drome. Couldn't do it this time. The pain lasted 5 days before I took a tramadol, which I never should have done. It was a wrong move. I can't take narcotics. I was sick. I was vomiting. I was sick. It was coming out, you know, both sides for about 24 hours. Got rid of the head pain. You know, the rest of me, though, was in bad shape. I think I took 4 naps, and then I slept all night long. And I was still dizzy, whatever, you know, and couldn't think, couldn't talk for about 3 days. I think today I can think a little bit better. Anyway, I use, during the pre-drome or even during the full migraine, I'll use essential oil mix of eucalyptus, peppermint, lavender, put it on the temples, along, you know, wherever it hurts. I also use canna root oil that I make, and it is great for arthritis pain and other assorted goodies. And I also put that on my scalp, wherever it hurts. I drink black tea for the caffeine. Well, I drink black tea anyway, but I drink more black tea. And sometimes I will take acetaminophen. I cannot take any NSAID, no aspirin, no ibuprofen, no nothing. You know, that's it. So I either have to take drugs and be sick, or last through the pain. You know, if it gets to be that bad, which it's the first time this year, so hey, that's not bad. I used to get them all the time. Anyway, last week I talked about the grieving the loss of your favorite food friend. I remembered during the migraine, the pain part of the migraine, when I started, I think when I started eating food for comfort. I remember when I first got my menses, and I had pain. And as the years went on, the pain got worse. But I mean, even, you know, 12, 13, 14 years old, I was in some serious pain. Doctors told me, don't worry about it. It was normal. I'll get over it when I start having kids. You know. Anyhow, the point is that I never got over it until they took it out. You know, I've been spayed, you know. It turned out it was endometriosis. I had pretty much spread throughout my entire body by the time they took out my uterus and ovaries and other assorted goodies. At that time, though, when I first started having that intense pain, somehow or other, I had a slice of sweet potato pie. In Harlem at that time, you could buy pie by the slice that somebody baked, you know. and wrapped it in, was it cling wrap or whatever they call it now. But anyway, so I ended up with a slice of sweet potato pie, and I ended up laying in my mother's bed. And somehow or other, I guess I must have felt better. But that's the vision that I have, is that I was eating sweet potato pie, laying in my mother's bed, and I felt better. So it seems from there, I remember getting panicky at one point when my period was due. I was in school or wherever, and I couldn't get a piece of pie. I couldn't go anywhere to lay down. I didn't have any money for a slice of pie anyway, you know. But I remember being in school, in high school at that time, being panicky because my period was starting, and I knew that there was excruciating pain coming along any minute now. Somehow or other, I guess I associated the food with the alleviation of pain, and it obviously went from physical to mental pain, you know, because I wouldn't have been 300 pounds otherwise, you know what I mean? I can also see, looking back, where my money issues started. I mean, I didn't have money for sweet potato pie. I didn't have money. There was no real way to get money, you know. So I somehow or other found money in the couch one day and started searching the couches, you know, that kind of a thing. And I would hoard it so that I could get the pie for when I felt bad, when I was in pain, or candy, penny candies when, you know, didn't have enough of pie or whatever, something to eat in order to assuage the pain, you know. I haven't had sweet potato pie in years. I mean, I don't even know where I could buy it. There's no place in town here that sells sweet potato pie. I haven't even seen it in any supermarket for years. But then, of course, I was living in places like New Hampshire and whatever. You're not likely to see sweet potato pie. And I'm not going to make one. But I have found that I didn't realize that I was doing was that every time I get fresh vegetables from the supermarket, I always get sweet potatoes. And I don't put sugar on them, but I do put butter on them. And I find that they are very comforting. Now, what about sweet potatoes that I didn't know when I was a kid was that they're full of estrogen. It's just what I needed. Well, the sweet potatoes was what I needed in order to assist with that pain. But I was thinking this week about making a sweet potato pie, but then I realized, you know, I'm going to have pie for days. And I don't need to have that much pie in the house. I just need one slice, and I ain't going to get it. Not this week, anyway. Not today. The other thing I remember about candy was the sticky candy that my mother made. I know now why the candy was sticky was because she didn't boil out all of the water from the food coloring or the flavoring or something like that. There was too much water in it. But I have to say that I didn't have a whole hell of a lot of happy memories from childhood. But I remember the candy making as a happy and warm feeling. And I remember the sweet potato pie and sitting in my mother's bed as comforting. So I believe that's where, somewhere in there was where my addiction to food came from. And my antagonism towards money and not allowing myself to have what I should have. You know, why not? I don't know why I really tried to trace where it all started from, except possibly the pain, and I don't even know where the sweet potato came from. I don't think I was thinking about it or anything, but it came up. But I think it might be beneficial for you also to find out, if you can, where did it start, or at least close to where did it start, and why was it that it started, and does that have any relevance to you now? Yeah, I wanted to eat some sweet potato pie when I had a migraine. I wanted to eat while I had a migraine. And it didn't even really matter what it was. I mean, I was popping raisins, I was popping prunes. Well, I needed to pop prunes, but I was, you know, it was like I was frenetic trying to find something to eat while I was in the midst of all of that pain. And you might be surprised, you know. So now I need to do is find, well, I don't need to, I was thinking I needed to find out what to substitute for the pie. But do I? I don't really think so. And, you know, if you look, you know, I think you'll find that at the beginning of your addictions, you'll find a starting place of where to confront them, what addictions you've got now. You'll probably find more than one addiction, and you can confront them too, or not, but at least be aware of it, you know. And I believe that it would increase the chances for successful weight loss, plus resolving other issues. I mean, like I've got stress, fat in the belly. I would love to get rid of that. Anyway, it would cause you to look at your eating, your habits, and your choices with a new way of looking, a new eyes. So during this time, I said, wow, I got a lot of stuff that I'm not finishing. For instance, I'll throw a dish in the sink. Now there's only me. You know, when the sink gets full, it's me. You know, there's nobody else to blame. When my kids were little, I used to blame them. Not little, but small. They each had their own set of dishes, their own set of towels and stuff like that. So that if your towels were dirty, your sheets were dirty, you needed to wash them, and that's, you know, where the washing machine is and how to run it, you know. If your dishes were dirty, well, hey, you know, that's a shame. You better go wash them, you know, if you want to eat. It was one of those kind of things, you know, but I am it in this house. So I need to get my act together. I mean, anyway, so what I've decided to do is that I cannot go to bed if there is a dish in the sink to be washed. Well, I was successful until last night. Now I've got, I was cleaning out the refrigerator, and now I've got a sink full of dishes. Of course, it's early, so maybe I'll make it tonight. I didn't make it last night. But I'm getting better. I mean, it was very cool to get up, I think it was yesterday morning, day before, one of the mornings when I had actually cleaned out the sink before I went to bed and actually put the dishes away. And I came out that morning and I was going to fill up the teapot, and I realized there was nothing in my way to move out of the way. It was just wonderful, you know. So I got to work on that one. I also, the other thing that I decided to do was write down every dollar amount of every unplanned spending that I do. Well, that's been pretty successful too, because it caused me to stop and say, wait a minute, you don't really need that. You know, you could wait another week, or, you know, that kind of thing. It caused me to spend a lot less money. So it was beneficial to find out about that sweet potato pie. Might be beneficial to find out what your sweet potato pie is. Self-sabotaging checkup. I didn't do anything. I mean, I've been doing intuitive eating. I've lost 1.5 pounds this last 2 weeks. I'm working on paying attention to how I feel. And it's a funny thing, but I'm beginning to think that most of the time I'm just full and it's my mouth that's looking for something. And as a matter of fact, I think the candy thing was because I was full all the time. I don't like the feeling of fullness, but I wanted to eat something. And so if you put candy in your mouth and it dissolves or you crunch or whatever, you're not putting a whole lot of food in your stomach, so you don't feel fuller. It's amazing how your mind works, At least how my mind works. It's just strange. Anyway, I've been paying attention to how I feel. I also been paying attention to how things taste. If it's not an 8, it goes in the garbage. If it's not an 8 or better, it goes in the garbage. I have actually spit out food when it just felt like if you swallow that one more swallow, you are going to be sick. So as a result, I think the weight is finally going. Who knows? Anyway, Rowley. Rowley is doing excellent. Oh, I thought he was right here. He's doing excellent. He allowed a man to come up to him, and he allowed a strange dog to sniff without attacking it. Actually, he was trying to get away. He still lunges at golf carts, but he's also added ATVs and bicycles to the list. Overall, the walks are pleasant and pretty cool, actually. Sometimes he decides he wants to go over there, and so we go over there. You know what I mean? And although we walked 1.25 miles this morning, he didn't want to come inside. He wanted to stay out and walk some more. So I've been looking for places where I can walk to make the walks longer, He's still not using the buttons. I think he's afraid of them. I don't know why, but I think he's afraid of them. But when it's time to go outside, he goes and he sits next to the tray with all of the buttons on them, and he waits for me to press the button before he starts getting excited to go outside, Okay. So to sum up, I'm feeling good with no regrets about the surgery. I would do the surgery again. I'm feeling good in my mind, my body, and my soul. I'm feeling great, okay? Feeling good, other than that headache last week. And even then, I did the walk every day except one night. I think I didn't walk Rowley. But every night, the headache and all, I went and did that walk. I feel like I am on the right track, and I'm feeling more and more relaxed as the days go on. Maybe we'll get rid of this belly, the cortisone. Anyway, please like, please share, subscribe, and comment. And ring the notification bell so you know the next time I put this up. I'm sorry I missed last week. Don't forget to click show more to see the stuff in the description below. And thank you for watching and listening. And thanks for subscribing. So you take care of you and yours. Stay safe, stay healthy. Blessed be. Okay?